So Josh, obviously the emotion of an after the siren win on the weekend. What's the mood of the club like this week?
Oh, it's really positive, as you'd expect. I think the excitement of the win has probably subdued a little bit. Obviously, we've got to turn our attention pretty quickly to this weekend, but you couldn't help but be excited game day, and I was really proud of the players. I think, again, we fielded such a young side, and that probably gets lost a little bit in discussion when people talk about the Northern Blues. We've got a really young AFL contingent there, and we had 50-50 split on the weekend, so we brought in a lot of young VFL players, and I thought the way they handled the game in its entirety, but more importantly the last stages of the game was so pleasing to see their maturity and their growth, and absolutely deserved the win. They deserve to enjoy it, and now our challenge is to move on as quickly as we can, and that process has already started.
Two close losses in the lead up to that Port Melbourne game. What does the nature of the win especially do for the group?
Well, it builds belief, and I think when you look at the two losses before that against good opposition, so many learnings came out of that, and I think they held us in good stead on the weekend against Port Melbourne. But it builds belief, builds resilience and character, but you still need to get it done. And when you're facing that position again, you have to draw on those experiences. And again, those types of games, even the last month where we haven't got results, as frustrating as it's been, those types of games and those types of experiences are going to hold our young group in good stead.
What will be the focuses over the next 6 weeks of the season, with hopefully a return to September action, I'm sure, at the top of the cards?
Yeah, well, it's not. I'm not speaking about with the players. Like I think we tend to get real carried away with finals when, again, we've got such a young group, and I think it's stripping it back to training, consistency, giving ourselves a chance to prepare and play well each weekend, and the game and the competition at VFL and AFL level doesn't allow for complacency. So I just think there's massive learning and growing opportunities in the next 6 weeks, and if that leads us to an opportunity to play the end of the year, that's fantastic. But first and foremost, we've got to regroup and go again against Williamstown. But there'll be several changes to the team again, I'm expecting, and that changes your mix and your balance as well. So lots to consider week in, week out, and that's why, for me, we just continue to focus on our next opposition and keep trying to get better.
Blooding a lot of AFL talent each week. Two guys we haven't seen at senior level, guys like Angus, Schumacher and Paddy, Kerr. Can you talk us through their development at VFL level this season?
Yeah, both have shown some really good signs and actually strung some good football together. I guess the difficult thing to understand sometimes is that they may be playing really well at VFL level, but players at AFL level are playing well also, who are in front of them. So possessions being 9/10 of the law, holding your spot in the AFL senior team. But the two guys you mentioned, Shuey and Curry, from an attitude and leadership and maturity perspective, they've both shown great growth in all those areas. And I thought Curry's first half on the weekend was really important for us. He had some things in his game over the last month that he's had to work really hard at. And again, he was able to make some adjustments and play a really important role for us. And Shuey's competitiveness, defensive actions, and his decisions with the ball are getting better each week. So the tendency is to look left and right of you and see younger players playing AFL footy and wonder why you're not. But the path that those two are on is probably more normal for most young players, in that they're earning their stripes and biding their time at VFL level.
Back at Preston this week must be nice.
Yeah, so it will be nice. We enjoy playing at Preston. We love playing at Icon as well, but there's still a spiritual link to Preston, and our last outing there was in the Bullants jumpers, which was a great day for the footy club. But we'll get out there on Saturday and do our captain's run and familiarise ourselves with the ground again, and look forward to having a good hit out against Williamstown, who are again a quality side and have been for a long time.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Christian.
We'll never not thank you.